All right, so today we are going to do one of my favorites. This is taco soup in the Instant Pot. Super fast and easy. Throw on some gloves, so I can touch my dogs. All right, so first thing you want to do is take your Instant Pot, or if you're just using a regular saucepan, that's fine too. But if you're using an Instant Pot, I've got mine turned on to the pressure setting on high. You set it for like 10 minutes, so it just kind of starts to get hot. And we are going to take a half of a red onion. So if you take your onion, you cut the head and the butt off of it, slice it in half, and then you just cut it along the edge this way, and then this way it creates a mince for you. And you just throw the root into it. I'll push this off to the side for a second. Next, jalapeno. So jalapenos don't make stuff hot. People think they do, but they don't. Tuck those fingers in so you don't cut yourself. All right, put those aside. We've got 2 green onions. Cut them in half, and then they go much faster. All right, those aside. All right, so into our Instant Pot, we're going to put 2 tablespoons of butter. And I've got a half of a 32-ounce box of chicken stock. So if you buy it in the small cans, they're like 12-ounce cans, but you want about 18 ounces, give or take. And this recipe is going to feed 4 people. So we'll dump this in with the butter. Perfect. So I recommend making your own chips to top this with, but if you're not that creative and you just don't care, you can always buy store-bought tortilla chips. They're still delicious, but the homemade ones are just a little bit better. So if you're making the homemade ones, I've got my oil heating up. We'll take it to about 350 degrees. But again, this is super easy Instant Pot taco soup. So if you want it super easy, then you don't want to make your own chips. It's a little bit of an extra step. All right. So into our Instant Pot, we are going to add our jalapenos and all but a pinch of our red onions and our jalapenos and I cut something else up. What was it?
Green onions.
Green onions. All right, so that goes in. We also are going to use a cup of frozen corn. And you're going to use a full 15-ounce can of undrained black beans. Also going to use a 10-ounce can of cream of chicken soup. Bang it up really good first so it doesn't come out in a big chunk, because that's gross. So this is, again, one of our really inexpensive meals that will feed a whole house full. I say it feeds 4, but it's probably closer to 6. And maybe you're looking at $10. All right, we are going to use a half a cup, and this is optional. You can either use green or red enchilada sauce. I think that the green enchilada sauce gives it a lot better flavor. So about a half a cup of green enchilada sauce. If you don't have that, you can use a whole can of green chilies. That'll work just fine. All right, so as for our protein, I love to grill, but it's winter, so I don't really want to go outside and grill. So I bought a rotisserie chicken, which works just perfect. So I'm taking the breast off of the rotisserie chicken. You can use as much or as little chicken as you want. It just kind of depends on how far you want to stretch this out, but make sure there's no bones in it. And we just give it a good rough chop, one direction and then the other direction. So skin off, it doesn't matter what flavor rotisserie chicken. It's, you know, the ones at the grocery store, they're like $5. And then one chop this way. toss this in. Delicioso. Give it a stir. All right, and again, you've got your Instant Pot on high pressure. And I just set it for 10 minutes because it's only going to take 4 or 5 minutes. You just need to bring this to a rough simmer, and then she's good to go. All right, to this, we're going to add some fresh cilantro. So I've got chopped up, this is going to be about a tablespoon of fresh cilantro. Teaspoon of granulated garlic, a teaspoon of garlic salt, and for simplicity, we're going to use a packet of taco seasoning. You can use a tablespoon of cumin and 2 tablespoons of chili powder in place of this, but I find this is easier. They have them at Walmart, they're like 50 cents. So, dump this in here. All right, next key ingredient. So Velveeta processed cheese. I get the big one in the box. You can use the little slices in the packets. Those are fine. I would use like 6 or 7 of those. Otherwise, I'm using 4 ounces of Velveeta out of the box. This is going to give it a really creamy, delicious flavor. Unfortunately, it's hard to get without Velveeta. I know it seems like they use Velveeta in a lot of recipes, but find me something that's not processed that gives you the same flavor and I'll use it, but there just really isn't one. All right. I'll give Big Daddy a cocktail while we're stirring. All right, starting to come together. All right, while that is simmering, we are going to take our tortilla. So I've just got one 8-inch white tortilla. Roll it up real tight. Like so. And then you're going to slice the thinnest slices you can get. Perfect, so leave them round like this. When your oil gets hot enough, and we use my Grandma Healy's method of how to test whether your oil is hard enough. Take the end of any wooden or bamboo spoon, stick it in. When it starts to bubble like that, mama's hot. All right, so we're gonna toss in our tortilla. This, you have to keep a very close eye on it. It literally only takes maybe 45 seconds. Take a paper towel, set it next to our grease so we can drain it. Don't have to dirty too many dishes, but as you can see, they're already getting brown. You just want them crispy. That's it. All right, looks perfect. Pull these out and drain. So if you like our videos, make sure you subscribe, because otherwise we don't know that you want us to keep making them. And we're always down to give feedback, so send me your comments. I love pictures. Send me pictures of how your version came out. And if it didn't come out quite the way you wanted it to, send me a message and I can probably talk you through what happened. What went wrong? All right, so we've got this on a very low boil, so keep it up on high, but you don't want it to boil too much because that cheese is gonna stick on the bottom. So just kind of keep stirring it. This is again a super fast, we're talking like this video at the end will be like 8 minutes long. All right, so while that is finishing, we are going to just whip up a little bit of garnish for the top of the soup, which is really important. So we saved a little bit of our red onion, maybe a tablespoon of red onion. And this is again per serving. This is a little bit of cilantro, just enough to garnish. Everybody likes a little tasty crunch on top of their soup. We've got a little bit of cheddar cheese, shredded. Just a small handful. And what is Mexican food without avocado? Fingers crossed. This one feels really soft, and I'm really hoping that it's not mushy and gross. It's okay. It's not fabulous, but it'll do for today. It's the worst part about buying avocados is you never know. They're either hard as a rock or they're mushy and gross inside. And then we've got some sour cream, which we'll just leave to the side for a second. All right, our soup looks pretty done. So at this point, we're gonna give it a little taste and just kind of see where we are with spices. It's delicious. It needs black pepper. So we're gonna add a little bit black pepper, maybe another teaspoon or quarter teaspoon. Perfect. All right, it's starting to look pretty good. Go ahead and shut our Instapot off. All right, we've got our serving dish. We're gonna ladle in a nice healthy, get it all the way down to the bottom and get all the tasties. You can let this cook longer and everything will get mushy, like all the vegetables and stuff. I kind of like a little bit more hearty soup where you've got definable textures for everything, but you can certainly cook it for longer. Like you're gonna have a little crunch in your vegetables, and I think that makes for a better quality soup. So on top of this, we're going to put our cheese so it will melt. Just in the center, nice and pretty. On top of the cheese is going to be our sour cream, just a nice dollop. It's all your taste, how much you like. So that's a couple tablespoons. Tablespoon. All right, a little sprinkling of red onion. Again, it's just a little spicy crunch. And a little bit of our cilantro that we chopped up. At this point, if you're serving it to people and you want to be fancy, I like to throw a little paprika on top. Paprika basically does nothing other than make it look pretty, and it gives a little bit of a smoky flavor. And then we set our avocado right in the middle. And then on our plate underneath, or you can just sprinkle them on top. Our chips. All right, so super easy. That's our 10-minute, $10 taco soup in the Instapot with homemade chips. Super delicious. If you like our video, please subscribe and share it with your friends. Otherwise, we don't know that you like them and we'll stop making them and then you won't have tasty food in your home anymore. So, zoom in on that, baby. Super delicious. Mushka, come here. Brooklyn, you want to try? Let's see if the dog likes it. Yeah? Uh-oh, it's Great Dane approved. Yes?